Are you someone who always runs late, even if it's 1 minute late, 5 minutes late, 15 minutes late? And it doesn't matter how early you try and get there, how early you set your alarm clock, you still end up being late for the appointment, the interview, the dinner date, the lunch. And maybe you've got a bit of a reputation of being a flake, being someone who doesn't show up, being someone who always changes their mind. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why you are always late. It doesn't matter how much you change your mindset, how early you set your alarm clock, your body will always create a gravitational need in order to make yourself late. Whether that's you end up spilling a cup of tea or cup of coffee or water on the floor, someone's blocking your car in the driveway. And while this may seem like a suspicious act, it's you that are creating it. It's you. And this is beyond phenomena. This is patterns. If you have a pattern of being late, it's you. It's nobody else, it's you. And if you want to fix this, you can fix it. And if you want to stay a victim, then that's okay too. But in both of those worlds, whether or not you change it or stay a victim, it's a choice from this point on, because ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is indifference. If you're someone who wants to step forward in life with passion, power, resilience, and purpose, then confronting why you are late will make all the difference. So why you're late is what's known as an instinct injury. And then underneath that, even deeper still, is something what I call a schizoid injury. And if you're someone who has a schizoid injury, you might not only be late to things, you might also be challenging to stay present, be with your body. You might even have sex to feel instead of connecting with somebody else. Sex reminds you of what it means to be human. Or maybe you've just forgone sex altogether because you're too afraid to get close enough to someone in order to feel their love and their affection. A schizoid character has got defenses and it's got gifts. And by defenses, I mean it's shadow behavior. And shadow behavior can have a repressive style and a reactive style. The repressive style of a schizoid is to retreat. It's to call back into themselves. It's to disappear like a hermit. And you might call yourself an introvert or someone who needs to be away from people. At the root of that injury is you're afraid to be seen for who you really are. And then the reactive nature of the schizoid is lashing out at people, being a bit of a porcupine, a prickly pear. When it comes to emotions, you might try and keep your distance and use your intuitive gifts to keep people away. You might read into a person, and while this is spiritually invasive, it's been your defense since childhood. And the schizoid injury takes time to heal and soothe. At the core of this is a terror of being human, the terror of being responsible for a body. The double bind for a schizoid is to exist means to die. And if this lands for you, then maybe you need to work with someone who's a specialist in the body and the mind, instead of seeking out therapists who just specialize in the mind and sinking thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars into coaches who might have snazzy funnels and snazzy marketing, when deep down, your instincts have betrayed you to choose someone who's going to fix you. And the fix-it component is a rigid injury, which comes much later in life, which I'll talk about in another video. If you hear yourself as a schizoid and someone who disappears and leaves their body, like feels like their body is here, but they're really over there inside that other person, fantasizing or attempting to threat assess if that person over there is an issue for you, there's hope in between the exhaustion and the despair that you feel. And it really boils down to, do you want this or not?